Well, a familiar face from the NFL world has joined the CBS analyst group as contract talks between the Bengals and Joe Burrow have opened up. This is the Fumblerooski podcast by Power 88 and Secret Weapon Consulting. Adam Wright, Justin Tucker, CJ Medeiros. Well, we are kind of heading into the summer here. It's kind of the end of May, so June is starting up, and we promise we will get out all of our summer coverage, which will transition us into the 2023 NFL season. But we do have a great show planned tonight. As I previously mentioned, Joe Burrow and the Bengals opened up contract talks and some interesting reports coming out about what's going on with that. And Matt Ryan joining the CBS analyst group. Not just that, but the fact that he's thinking about not retiring yet. It's not a retirement post when he said that. Are you guys ready to do some Bengals talk?
I am. I can't speak for Tuck.
Tuck, our favorite Ravens fan, definitely is.
Let's talk about this.
All right. So the Bengals have been talking about it all season long. Off season long. And so the most intriguing part. So we all know that he's going to be signed one way or another. The question is it going to be a team-friendly deal, or is it going to be a loaded-up contract that's going to impede the Bengals' ability to sign players to build a team around Joe Burrow? And they also have players on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball that they're going to want to re-sign and retain so that they could continue to contend. So what do you guys think of this? So what do they need to do in order to also retain players who are going to be free agents soon? T. Higgins right after this season, and Jamar Chase as well, coming after 2026, but still it'll come up.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting conversation to have. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm going to talk like the way I've been talking. I'm going to take like a pay cut, like not necessarily a pay cut, but lesser money so I can have better pieces surrounding him, which would be a good idea for him considering the weapons and the arsenal that he has surrounding him. So if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm probably not going to make as much money as, say, Lamar Jackson, but I'm going to keep the quality pieces around me for years to come, like a T. Higgins, like a Jamar Chase. Maybe in the future they might have to get rid of Tyler Boyd, but if they can keep the money within reason, I don't see them losing any of the weapons that they have currently if Joe Burrow does indeed want to take less money.
Yeah.
So honestly, Joe Burrow doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would demand a huge contract, not unlike, like a Deshaun Watson type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, Mahomes didn't strike me as that either, but they gave him a huge deal and they're going to re-up it. But then again, I think that's more the Chiefs overcompensating than it is Mahomes. But Burrow, he knows the value of having a good team around him. Excuse me. And when you look at, like you mentioned, his weapons, Chase and Higgins are going to need new contracts. You got to keep around Joe Mixon if he can stay clear of the legal issues. You have Tyler Boyd. You've got some good pieces on the line and some good pieces on defense. Joe Burrow sees how incredibly close they are to getting their first ever Lombardi. And if he's smart, which I think he is, he's not going to want like a mega deal. Now, obviously, he's going to make probably over $100 million because that's just how you pay quarterbacks now. But it's not going to be like $200 million with $150 guaranteed, like nothing like that.
Yeah, and honestly, I do believe that it's going to be team friendly because you're also hearing from other players as well. That has been on Burrow's mind that he still wants to get paid. Everyone does, but he wants to be paid in a manner where he can still be the team can still be competitive and be able to re-sign all their significant pieces. T. Higgins said this. He praised who he is as a leader. And he also said that they've had conversations about how they want to keep everybody around, T. Higgins included, because he's the first domino to fall. His deal is up after this upcoming season. And then there's Jamar Chase down the road, who is not going to be cheap by any sense of the word. because that guy is, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that he is one of the top 2-3 players at his position in the entire league. So that's going to be, I don't think it's an exaggeration.
Top 5, I could see top 3.
I don't want to go too much. I don't want to go too much outside of the topic, but I will say, going into this past season, I did say I believe that Jamar Chase is going to be top 2 next year.
He wasn't.
And if it weren't for him getting hurt, listen, if you miss 5 games in the year and you still get over 1,000 yards, that is a ridiculous stat line. And if he didn't get hurt, he would have been right there with Justin Jefferson as one of the top wide receivers in this league. He was just that dominant. I'll say that much. But it's regardless of how we feel, that guy's going to get paid. But you still have to pay Joe Burrow and be able to retain T. Higgins. I think Joe Mixon's going to be replaceable. I think he's replaceable. And with the way he has been acting off the field, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get rid of him and draft another running back down the road, or at least let him walk.
Yeah. There is one thing, though, that I do want to bring up. I don't know how much it rings true today, but you can ask any Bengals fan right now, and they will tell you that their owner, Mike Brown, is cheap. Now, obviously, you pay for Joe Burrow, right? Whether he takes a free team-friendly deal or not, so be it. But there have been times when the Bengals were top 10 in cap space, and they just didn't spend because Mike Brown didn't want to. And I do have a few friends who are Bengals fans. I asked them, question on their minds is that if they do get Burrow, is Mike Brown willing to pay for Higgins and Chase? I personally lean yes, but even they don't know. But I think they will. That's just me. Yeah,
well, they kind of have to.
Yeah.
And also, it's not just the pass catchers that they want to retain. You don't want to compromise on this offensive line. They've built it up over the past couple of years, and it's finally starting to pay off. They towards the end of last season, it was playing the best it has in years, and now they added some depth, bringing in Orlando Brown and holding on for now to Jonah Williams. So, and also having Lyle Collins. They brought in Cody Ford to be a backup guard in case one of those guys goes down. But they have pieces everywhere on that offensive line. It's the deepest it's been in years. So do you really want to screw that up by going cheap, or not even that, going really expensive on your quarterback and then having to, a quarterback's can only be so good if he's getting killed every other play.
True.
That's something to keep in mind. Not just the pass catchers, but also your offensive line. So you got to be able to keep this group together if you want to even be competitive, let alone be contenders.
Fair. He does need an O-line because, my God, he needs help.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way he's been able to play the past couple of years, despite the offensive line troubles. But there's no denying when that offensive line is playing well that Burrow and the Bengals are borderline unstoppable. They don't lose when the quarterback's on his feet. He just doesn't. You could see the way the Bengals played when they traveled to Buffalo, and then you saw the way they played in Kansas City. They still barely lost the game, but Burrow got sacked 5 times. That was ultimately what caused them to lose that game.
Also, the interception.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to nitpick. I'm in a good mood. I'll let him be for now.
How very nice. You are truly.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy.
Listen, when you leave games that close, then there's going to be small mistakes like that, or falters by the refs that are going to be the difference in that game. So don't leave it that close. Don't cut down on your mistakes. That's why I was not on the bandwagon of saying that win for the Chiefs was fixed. No, If you allow your quarterback to get sacked 5 times, then you get what's coming to you. That's what happens. That is what happens. It happened to the Eagles in the Super Bowl as well. You left it that close, and then you left it in the ref's hands to screw it up. That's what happens.
Fair.
That's what happens. Not the refs aren't perfect, and your players aren't perfect either. So control everything that you could possibly control, including these contracts. So they're gonna want to work on that and make sure this Joe Burrow contract is team friendly, so that you can retain T. Higgins, you can hold on to Jamar Chase, keep that offensive line intact that you've built up for years. So that stuff is all important. Also on defense, I mean, having a good defense is pretty good too. I mean, that's something you might need. They don't really have any legit stars there, though, do they? They don't have anyone where you look at and you say, this guy is a superstar. I think Trey Hendrickson. I think Trey Hendrickson's the closest they have to that.
Yeah, they don't really have any stars. It's good pieces. Like I like DJ Reader. I think he's like a top 5 D tackle. But outside of him and like Trey Hendrickson, it's not really much. Oh wait, Eli Apple. He's probably the biggest name on defense.
For the wrong,
for good reasons.
Oh yeah, for all the wrong reasons.
I'm not saying it's a good reason, but he's probably the biggest name. You think of the Bengals defense, you do think of Eli Apple, even though he's not on the team anymore, isn't he? He's still a free agent right now.
Surprise.
And Jesse Bates is gone. Von Bell is gone. But you slide Dax Hill into a starting role, and then you bring in Nick Scott. So they're kind of set at the safety position. And then they drafted a kid in the 2nd round. They also have Chidobe Awuzie, who's arguably their best corner.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, at least. So you have some pieces there. That defense is good as a unit, but they don't have any singular superstars. You don't have like on the 2018 Patriots defense like the Stephon Gilmore, who's like that guy. You got to watch out for that guy. They don't have that. They should really get it. Don't. What if they got Marcus Peters? What do you think of that?
Oh, don't mention that to Tucker.
I put a hole in the wall.
Darn. With a firearm or with a
I'd punch a hole in the wall.
Well, like what? Why do that? You should be more efficient. Don't.
No.
Just shoot the wall, and just make sure there's no one else on the other side of the wall.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they don't want to get anyone else hurt. Just hurt the wall.
Exactly.
Like if I'm in the middle of something and I'm like on the treadmill or I'm lifting something and then all of a sudden I look at my phone, breaking news: Marcus Peters signs with Cincinnati. I might just throw the weight or something.
Or it's new that's new workout motivation.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah.
Sure.
Look, this Bengals team is probably this is their best shot they're going to have at a title in a long time. Best in the past couple of years where they've been in contention, even their Super Bowl year, even this past year when they actually it looked like they improved their offensive line. They all got hurt. So what did they do? They went into this offseason and they improved their depth at the position. They brought in Orlando Brown he's going to be their starting left tackle, but then you move Lyle Collins. Lyle Collins is going to be hurt, but then you move Jonah Williams from left tackle to right tackle where he'll probably be a lot better. And then you still have Lyle Collins in your back pocket. He doesn't have much leverage in terms of contract talks because he's hurt. And he's also kind of old. So, this is the best depth you've had. And at the guard position, you lost that kid that you got whose name is escaping me, who you got from, what's his name? Kappa. Alex Kappa. Lost him. So what did you do? You bring in Cody Ford, a guard, to be a backup there. Then you also have Ted Karras at the center position. You have everything there. You got everything. So you just don't want to screw it up. But all right, I think we've talked this part to death. We're going to talk about Matt Ryan joining CBS, but most importantly, talking about how he could potentially still come back. Hasn't quite closed the door on his playing career just yet. We're going to talk about that. This is the Fumblerooski podcast. Welcome back to the Fumblerooski podcast by Power 88 Secret Weapon Consulting. Adam Wright, Justin Tucker, CJ Medeiros as usual. Hope you guys are all having a great Friday night on this fine May Day. Get it? Oh, jeez.
I forgive you.
All right. Well, so Matt Ryan has announced yesterday that he is joining CBS as one of their analysts. And most importantly, he specifically said this is not a retirement post. So he's just looking for work right now. And he happens to know a lot about football. Surprisingly, right? Because, he plays in the NFL.
28
or played. Knows
That's
a lot
not
about
nice, CJ.
We heard that. Listen. But he clearly wants to come back because he hasn't really said whether or not he would leave. He's leaving the door open on coming back. In fact, he said it's not a retirement post. So there's really no speculation. He wants to come back and he wants to sign. So I think we all feel the same way on this. This guy needs to hang it up. He's in his late 30s right now. And the last two teams he has bet on, which were not the worst teams in the world, they've been just flat out garbage. It just doesn't look like this guy can play anymore. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So here's the thing with Matt Ryan. He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Matt Ryan. This isn't a retirement post." My question is, okay, why? Why is it not a retirement post? I mean, it's not like he did well for the Colts last season. Oh, did he take a step back? He had a 67% completion percentage, which is pretty good, but barely cracked 3,000 yards with 3,057, 14 touchdown passes compared to 13 picks and a passer rating of 83.9. We'll call it an 84.
He lost his job too.
Yeah, and he lost his job. I was getting there. Thanks, Adam. But, and that wasn't sarcastic. I mean, literally, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, of course.
But, oh my God, this was far and away, arguably the worst season he's had. And when you looked at him last season, you could see, he's cooked. I mean, I don't know why he wants to come back. I mean, look at how he led the Colts. The Colts were the fourth worst team. They had literally the fourth overall pick in the draft, which they used on a quarterback. Yeah. So, sorry, Matt. I know you think he can still play, but I would just hang it up.
Yeah, it's time for him to hang it up. I knew it was time for him to hang it up when they lost to Minnesota. I knew then and there. I was like, you're up 33-0.
Yeah, 33-0.
And then you let 36 unanswered points happen. Yeah, it's time for you to go. It's time for an entire rebuild. Matt, I'm happy for you to join the booth. I'm happy for you to join the CBS analyst group. Hopefully Tom Brady follows in your footsteps and joins the Fox broadcasting booth. I think Matt Ryan has had a good career. I wouldn't say great. I wouldn't say bad. I think good is fair enough for him. He does have an MVP on his resume. He does have a Super Bowl appearance, even though he choked that away. He does have certain things that he can live with, and he might even qualify for the Hall of Fame, considering his passing yards and all that. So I think he's had a good career. Just hang it up. No one's going to blame you if you hang it up now. No one's going to say you were a bad quarterback. Just let it go.
Yeah. In fact, people would say it's about damn time. And looking at his statistics now, not only this isn't arguably his worst season. This is his worst season. This is his lowest touchdown pass total at 14 since his rookie year in 2008. And also, this is the lowest passer rating he's ever had since his sophomore season. So there's really nothing that you could look at and say that this guy can still play.
Yeah. It's and let's just say you are an NFL team. And for some reason you do say, hey, let's sign Matt Ryan. Why? What incentive is there to sign him? I mean, he's not going to lead you to a Super Bowl. He's not even going to lead you to be a semi-decent team. I mean, you saw what he did with the Colts. So I don't get it. I mean, I know he probably still wants to play, but I mean, it's time to just look in the mirror and say that's probably not a good idea.
Yep. Lowest yardage total as well as far as passing yards go. Lowest yardage total since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy has just been, he was just garbage for Indianapolis. I thought maybe he had a little bit left in the tank because, I mean, he was old, but he was about, how old was he? He was 37. We've seen quarterbacks who are on the older side, especially with his play style, still be able to extend their playing career for a little while.
Yeah.
We've seen Peyton Manning do it. We've seen Tom Brady do it. We've seen Brett Favre. We've seen Jesus. What's his name? Complete
Rivers?
blanking. Rivers,
Philip
kind
Rivers,
of. Yeah.
Drew Brees,
I'm thinking
Warner.
Kurt Warner and Drew Brees. Yeah. A lot of players have been able to do it with the same play style. He just couldn't. He just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it in him. So we'll see we'll see if he's a good analyst. We've seen some good quarterbacks, go into the broadcast booth and they've actually done very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think you guys all know who I'm referring to with
Mm-hmm.
Tony Romo and also Troy Aikman.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't say that.
So yeah, I think he should. I think he should. I wonder how seriously he's taking this CBS job, because he should look at this with an open mind and think, could I do this long term? Because maybe he can. What if he's actually better at that than he is at football?
I think it's pretty impressive considering he was a pretty damn good football player.
I hope he is. I mean, it's the best case scenario at this point.
Well, I mean, that was the case with Tony Romo, and he never looked back.
Until last year, where he just fell apart for some reason.
Maybe he could cover a Super Bowl instead of trying to win one. I guess.
Yeah. But like also what's happened with Tony Romo has happened with journalism in general. Like in light of the whole DeMar Hamlin situation. Listen, no one is saying that no one is rooting against him. But it feel against the Bills that is. But I feel like the media talked it up so much that they did it to death. They constantly during that first game after the Bengals played afterwards they were constantly talking about him and how it was a storybook win. Like it's great that they won and it's good to see that the kid's okay, but you just can't you're doing it to death. And it feels like it's not just Romo, it's the whole media. And they kind of treat a lot of things that way.
And it's not even that. Have you seen how Romo treats his favorite players? Like you could tell, like he doesn't even announce games. He fanboys over them. He's like, oh my God, look at this one quarterback. He's so cool. I'm Tony Romo. I haven't accomplished anything or something like that. I don't know.
This isn't nice, guys. Come on, let's not rail on Tony Romo too hard now.
I think Tony Romo's pretty good at his job.
No,
he talks a little too much, but
he is. But last year was awful. And remember, like the higher ups at Fox had to talk to him.
Isn't he? He's with CBS
or CBS or sorry, CBS. And remember, but either way, the higher ups at CBS had to talk to him about how awful he was.
Right. But Matt Ryan just doesn't have that kind of personality. And if he is able to use his knowledge in any sort of way and make it entertaining, then I think he could do pretty well with this. Now, some people can't. Drew Brees got fired from NBC. Turns out he wasn't that good at it. And I mean, that's also understandable because these guys are famous for being athletes, not for being speakers on television. So it's not meant for everyone, but maybe he can do it. He should try out. Let's see how it goes. I say the same thing with Tom Brady. He's going to be the color commentator for Fox. See how he does. If he can't, then he can't, but he should definitely try it. And I'm sure it's a lot better for his off the field life than for his playing days. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he looks like his whole thing with Giselle is broken beyond repair, but at least, at least maybe he could salvage something.
Did you hear? He's talking to Kim Kardashian now. They're good friends.
Oh my God, no!
That's the rumor that's going around. They're good friends. They've had conversations. They've had phone calls.
Ooh, yeah, cool. I don't care.
All right. So on this show, we've been very on one side on this issue. Can we come up with any reasons, just for argument's sake, for why Matt Ryan should play football again? Should try it again. What do you think?
I think
The AFC South needs easy wins.
Yeah, if he has to sign, I think it's either the NFC South or the AFC South, depending on which team needs a quarterback. I would say AFC South, so because he understands the system that the Colts have. He's already been there before, and it gives Anthony Richardson more time. They don't have to look for another quarterback. He could just be, I can't even do that. Gardner Minshew's there. Scratch that.
Oh yeah.
And the Titans already have Will Levis and Ryan Tannehill is already the starting quarterback there right now.
I mean, Tannehill's not that good, but he's still better than Matt Ryan.
At this point in his career, I have to agree.
Oh yeah, at this point, yeah.
So I don't even think we can mention the AFC South, because everyone has someone. The Texans have CJ Stroud, and
the Jags have Trevor Lawrence.
Jaguars are a slam dunk for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that guy's like, they're over in Jacksonville. They're treating that kid like Jesus, rightfully so.
And
kid can play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but if you look at the NFC South,
it'd have to be
it would have to be the Bucs, because the Saints have Derek Carr, the Panthers have Bryce Young, and the Falcons, he already burnt bridges there, so he's not coming back.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, so like I said, it's got to be Tampa, and even still, there's Baker and Trask, so it's just gonna be which pile of garbage offends you the least.
That's literally it. We have only narrowed this down to one possible team.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of bad.
Or unless all the quarterbacks on the Niners get hurt again.
Yeah, then they could. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Because it seems like as long as you have a professional who has been there and can throw the ball at least 20 yards and not make mistakes, the 49ers have proven to be able to win. That's not a bad one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy might not play in 2023.
I don't think he will, no.
Yep. Trey Lance, we'll see how things go with him. Jimmy Garoppolo's already gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold's there. That's the issue.
Oh, yeah. But I would take Matt Ryan over Sam Darnold.
No. Sam Darnold's younger.
He's younger. He has better abilities. But I think that Matt Ryan, even at this point in his career, I like his chances of being able to lead teams to wins than Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because think about it. He has the abilities and he can't win. Matt Ryan, he's kind of washed up, but he at least has a good head on his shoulders.
I don't. It's a mid-off if you ask me, but I'm taking Sam Darnold because he's younger. And apparently Kyle Shanahan likes him.
Oh, well, if he likes him, then he likes him. What if Darnold gets hurt too?
All three of their quarterbacks go down? Yeah.
Nice, Justin.
Yeah, that didn't hurt at all.
Who texted you?
My mom. We got to wrap this up soon. I got to go.
Good luck on the show, sweetie.
Oh, stop.
That's very kind.
All right. Well, do we have any other thoughts before we end the show tonight?
Go Celtics.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right. They got to win tonight. If they go down 2-0, I don't like their chances.
Yeah.
They have to win. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think they have a good chance tonight. I don't want to. We'll knock on wood.
Stop.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. Thank you for listening to us. We have new episodes out on Tuesdays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have all of episodes available on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and so much more. Also, be sure to follow our Instagram at Fumblerooski_podcast to keep up with our podcast and latest coverage on the NFL. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Over and out.